all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Hey parents, we all try to be extra careful with our children in the car, but then we get an important call or text. Remember, our children are watching. Make every drive a good example. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Back in the Bossman Show. We're joined by the Charlotte 49ers new head coach, Will Healy. Coach Healy, how are things going in Charlotte, man?
Going great. How are things going with you?
Hey, Coach, I can't complain here in Atlanta. The Hawks are back in training camp here. So basketball season for me starts on Monday against the Pelicans and seeing Zion right here in my own backyard.
That's not bad. Now, he's a pretty good athlete. I wonder how much money he'd have made off his jersey sales.
A bunch.
Yes, I think so too.
A bunch.
It would have rivaled Tebow, I bet you money.
You got that right, Coach. You know we're in Atlanta, Coach. We have a lot of front-running fans. I guarantee you'll be more Zion jerseys than there will be Hawk jerseys on Monday night. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I understand. I'm a Chattanooga guy, so I've been to Atlanta a lot. I grew up a Georgia Tech fan, so I know what it's like.
Yes, indeed. Well, Coach, I want to ask you so. What do you feel like has been the biggest change in your program since you took over in last December, kind of setting your culture, setting the foundation for what you want to build it if Charlotte going forward here?
Well, I mean, anytime you have transition with the coaching staff, I mean, people are going to run things different ways. And fortunately for me, I got a bunch of guys around me as assistants and you know, as in our development office that know me well enough to understand what I want a culture to look like and what I want guys' character to develop into. And so it's just different ways. I mean, I thought the last guy that was here, Brad Lambert, did a great job. You know, it's just there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat, as you see with Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney. So it's just different ways of doing things. For me, obviously dealing with resources, I mean, we're very fortunate here. We've got some really good resources, really good facilities, and you're in Charlotte, North Carolina, where you've got even more resources that you can build on. So it's just kind of getting the name out, making sure people understand we're a young program, but we're not trying to be a hidden gym anymore. We want to make sure people understand what the type of unbelievable university we have, and we got really good people here on top of it.
You got there, right? You're in a great town. Charlotte's a booming town. Right there, South Carolina, right there at your doorstep. Of course, you have Tennessee a little bit north of you. And, of course, Georgia, you have to go through from Atlanta down I-85. So I can only imagine they're a great recruiting ground for your staff, your recruiting coordinator, because you can get in a car and find quality talent in any direction that you want to go, a 2640 or 8085.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. I mean, for us, it starts in the Carolinas. But we've recruited Atlanta and Georgia for a long time, whether I was at Chattanooga or at Austin Peay, and a lot of our staff has too. So got great connections in Georgia. Going to Florida, going to Virginia, going to Alabama, some Mississippi. So yeah, I mean, I think that we're trying to broaden our horizons a little bit, make sure and get the word out, and once we can get them on campus, I think we got a shot.
And the beauty of Conference USA, Coach, you go from El Paso, Texas, all the way up to Virginia and all the way down to Florida. So it's pretty much a big chunk of the United States is covered in Conference USA, which I guess gets its name, Conference USA for real,
Yeah, no, and I think on top of it, we got home and homes coming up with Duke, North Carolina, and Maryland. We open up in Tennessee next year. We'll play South Carolina, Florida, Indiana. We played Clemson this year, so I mean we're going to go play some big dogs too, and try to make sure that our own brand of football is big dog as well.
You got that right, Coach. You're on a bye week this week, Coach. So this week is more of a self-scout week for you guys, or you kind of could combine it with some FIU work as well, kind of get ready for next week's preparation, play those guys on the road in Conference USA play.
Yeah, you're trying to get guys healthy. I mean, for our biggest point is, I mean, we've got 4 out of 5 all-conference defensive players that have missed the last couple of weeks, and we were down to 4 offensive linemen for the last 3 practices and missed 3 starters for the game on Saturday. So you're trying to get bodies back, especially when you are trying to do some things to work on your depth, and you kind of understand where you are in the building of this program. This week's been really good for us to make sure we go back to the basics and the fundamentals, and then try to get those guys that we've missed the last couple of weeks healthy.
Exactly, 5 weeks in the season here. That's a good time to get a rest there for you guys. You can finish strong as you get in the conference play. Because like I said, you want to play one conference game. The race is still there to be had. So get this week, get you guys healthy again, and make this run. Try to see if you can win that division title there.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, you're such a. That's obviously a goal. You're such a long way as a program from saying that like we've earned the opportunity to talk that way. So. I mean, our biggest deal is let's go get healthy enough and let's go execute a lot better than we have the last couple of weeks, and let's give ourselves a chance to go beat a really good Florida international team on the road. So we got to, you're still developing culture. You're still making sure that the guys understand what a season looks like, because it's their first time going through it with you and your staff, and so every day you're building, and for us, if we can continue to improve, then I think we got a chance to win some games here down the stretch.
And Coach Healy, kind of expound on that for me a little bit, Coach Healy, because when you're a new coach, try to build that camaraderie and that culture and the trust of these young men is very hard, because a lot of them guys were not recruited by you. So how do you go about trying to kind of build that bridge, build that bond where these guys buy in and trust you and your staff, and then realize that you're there for them, though you didn't recruit them, you're there for them now going forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, everybody always talks about all the coaches that, take a new job. The hardest group to love is the one that you inherit, because they didn't pick you and you picked them. And that's, I told our guys that the first day I got the job, is that you didn't pick me, I picked you. And, I'm going to grow to love you, and you're going to grow to love me. And, so I think it's investing, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. A lot of our investing is making sure that our players communicate with one another and continue to get to know more about one another. A lot of it is, whether it's taking them to dinner or doing some fun things with them, or it's talking about things other than football. But the relationship piece, to me, is the most important and the most vital, especially in year one. And we're constantly trying to find ways to make sure that we grow as close as we can, and that we get guys to buy in as quickly as possible, even though they may not have, out of high school, necessarily picked you.
And, Coach, what's also important is for young men to realize that, hey, they're there to get an education as well. And you're there to be there like their stepfather to help them grow to become nice, great husbands, lawyers, doctors. So everybody's not going to go to the NFL and go pro. So you got to be realistic about that and just say, hey, I'm here to help you become a better man, a better husband. So how do you go about trying to teach these young men about becoming better men and being the ideal Charlotte representative of the university and the city and the state of North Carolina?
Well, I think the biggest thing you got to make sure they understand is their identity is not football. That there is a lot more to life than football, and that even when they don't have football, so many of these guys have been praised since they were 6 years old because they were the best player on their rec team, and they've gotten away with, not going to class or not doing right academically or socially or whatever it is, and they get to the point their junior, senior year where they panic a little bit. They say, I don't know what I'm going to do without football. Maybe I'm not talented enough, or maybe I've been injured or whatever it is, but football is all I got. And my job is to make sure they understand football is not all you got. You number one, you don't have debt because you hadn't had to pay for college, which is way above where most people are at this point in time. And number two, you fought through some adversity that most people can't fathom, and you've come out on the other side. And, so you've got a really good foundation and structure that if you continue to grow and you continue to be willing to learn and put yourself in some uncomfortable positions, then football is not all you got. Football just gave you a background and a structure that can help you be successful in whatever you do. And your identity is not just in football.
Exactly. And, Coach, I want to ask you a first question for you, Coach. Who has been some coaches has really helped you personally and professionally as you grow as a coach from being in Chattanooga to being in Austin, now to being here in Charlotte, leading the 49ers here going forward?
Well, I was fortunate enough to play for two really good ones in Dave Clausen and Mike London. Great coaches, had two total different ways of doing things, but exceptionally successful. And they were the first ones to me that really said there is no one particular way of having success at the college level. Then worked for a great boss at Chattanooga, and Russ Huseman, who's now the head coach at Richmond, taught me a lot about how to build a program. And then some mentors that have become along the way, Dabo Sweeney, Mac Brown, Scott Frost, Mike McIntyre. Some of those guys have been really, really good to me. So I've learned a lot and continue to realize how ignorant I am each and every day and how much I have to learn, and, fighting to be the best coach and best mentor I can be.
Now, for you personally, what's the biggest difference for you coaching the FCS level besides the resources to the FBS level? Because I feel like, the competition is definitely different in the FBS, of course, but what are some challenges that you had at Austin Peay and Chattanooga that you don't have to deal with now at Charlotte per se?
Well, I mean, you brought it up. To me, the resources are just totally different. And you got to make sure that you don't – I mean, you do more with less at the FCS level than anybody else, and especially at Austin Peay. Where it was in 2016 is nowhere close to where it is right now. It's a really good job now. And, so you're used to dealing with more, doing more with less. And I think the one thing you have to make sure – at this level is that you don't try to treat it like an FCS program, because if you do, you're never going to grow. And, obviously the players that you're recruiting are different. The battles that you're in recruiting are different. The way you travel, the way you eat, what you wear. I mean, all of the quality of life for these guys is really, really good at our place. And so all of that is new. Each place brings its own set of problems. And so you're trying to make sure that these guys understand how lucky they are and how grateful they need to be, where, at Austin Peay, you're fighting them to give them, some eggs and sausage links for breakfast. So, it is, these guys are very well taken care of. They're at a great university, and in my opinion, they're playing for at least some great assistants. I think I'm overrated,
no, you're doing a great job, man. Now,
So I
Coach,
appreciate that.
I told off there that Coach Figure's one of my good buddies, Matt Figure. He talked glowingly about you. How he said, "Man, Will's a great guy. You love to have him on your show." So Coach, can you give us a story about Coach Matt Figure? Because he's a friend of the show, comes on the show all the time. So can you give us a story about Figs?
Figs is stud. I mean, I remember being fortunate enough to be involved in the interviewing process with Matt, and I mean, he blew it out of the water. And I think that the job he did, especially in year one at Austin Peay, is, you talk about changing a culture. That dude changed the culture, and how hard those guys played, and how disciplined they were, and the life around the basketball program. He does a phenomenal job, and he was really good to me, and enjoyed getting a chance to work with him, and obviously think the sky's the limit for that program and for Coach Fig. So I got nothing but great stories to say about him. I know we have. He is a hard-nosed, tough coach that loves on those guys and makes sure that they understand. He pushes them really hard because he expects a lot out of them, and he gets a lot out of them. So, no, I always enjoyed watching his practices, and I told him all the time my guys would cry if they went to one of his practices. I guess I've gotten soft, but I think Coach Fig could come out and be a great football coach too. Now he's one of a kind, does a great job, and really enjoyed getting a chance to work with him.
Yeah, sitting in his office when he's watching the film and doing his practice plans, like from seeing him in action, for me, it's just amazing because he's so intense about it. He's so meticulous about each drill leading to this next point. It all has a purpose for Coach Figgs. So I'm like, so if being a radio show guy, so he taught me that make sure everything I do have some purpose. So just hearing that, being around him help me in my radio career. And so make sure everything I do has a purpose. But what I do, if it be a question, a game I cover, have a purpose of what you're doing. So he taught me that just as a radio guy.
Disciplined, organized, consistent. I mean, he's all those things. I don't think there's any question. I learned a lot from him as well.
Now, Coach, I told you off there, I was in Chattanooga this past weekend, your hometown. I really enjoyed it. It was Mock's homecoming weekend. I went to the Lookout Mountain, Ruby Falls, the aquarium, great places. And I went to Ellie's Barbecue off of Manufacturers Road and the Big Chill. Man, I'm in love with your town, man. My girlfriend loved it. I'm going to go back to your town more often. How was it growing up there in Chattanooga, Coach?
Be careful about those drinks at the Big Chill now. They'll put you under in a hurry.
You got there right.
Yeah, don't deal with any of those frozen machines. I can promise you that. But no, I mean, Chattanooga is a great place, and my dad grew up there, and lived there a long time. Obviously both of my brothers grew up there. We actually lived in Ooltewah for since I was 5. So my oldest brothers got a chance to live on Lookout Mountain for a big part of their youth, and had a great experience, and being able to come back home and work at UTC for 7 years was a tremendous experience. Really, it almost gives you, I mean, the toughest part about the profession for me was, dating my wife and then us getting engaged and married while I was at Chattanooga, and then leaving Chattanooga where she grew up and went to school. And she really hadn't felt what life was like in the coaching profession because we had such a support system in Chattanooga. I mean, there was always something for us to do. I mean, you felt like in some ways, and you always had something pulling you in different directions. So for me, I think, I matured a lot whenever I had to move away and be a part of this profession. So great city. Still got all my family back there except for my brothers in Atlanta, and so we frequently visit back in Chattanooga is what we call it.
Well, I promised Coach Paris at Chattanooga, the basketball coach, I will be coming more often because I enjoyed it so much. I'm going to come more often to see you guys play. So I said I got to come up here some more because I loved it so much the weekend I was in town. So your town's great in my book, Coach. A++ for Chat Vegas, man.
That's right. Chattanooga, man, where all your dreams come true, right?
Yes, indeed. Coach Healy, best of luck to you next week against FIU. Glad to have you on the show. Got to do it again real soon. I enjoyed our visit today. Wish you best of luck going forward, man.
Anytime. Appreciate you, man. Have a great day.
You too. That's Will Healy, the Bossman Show.
Hip hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
Suntan City, let yourself shine.
When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.